how do we become artists? Okay, this is how I want to relate it back. Genesis art shows us how do we become artists from zero. And in the beginning, there's a thought. You think something, and that thought becomes a trigger. In Genesis art, we're refining our thoughts so that they're positive thoughts. They're thoughts of gratitude and love and feeling good about the world and strong and healthy. Even if we're not, starting with those words is very, very powerful. The next step after the word is kind of the world was created in chaos. There wasn't order from the beginning. There was abstraction. And that's really the way that the youngest baby starts creating, through abstract lines and shapes. And then the shapes start to create some kind of order, a separation of forms. And we see that with sky and earth. And simply dividing a piece of paper and separating land from sky or sea from sky, you've got a composition going. It's that simple to become an artist. From there, as we go through Genesis, God created nature. And nature meaning awareness of the heavens above and the land below. And that's often the next step in the artistic journey, is from abstraction to wanting to draw things in front of your eyes. And nature is so exciting to draw. It's the best possible thing in my mind to draw, because it's doing two things at once. It's giving us a dose of calming energy. It's connecting us to land, to earth, to the beauty of God's creations, the flowers, the trees, the shade that we get from them, the waters, all these things. When we appreciate them, we can appreciate them through photographs, but to actually draw them takes time. It's not an instant, split-second thing. To draw slowly, using colors, vibrant colors, it puts us in a place where we're becoming the nature. We're becoming it. And you can say, well, I don't know how to draw, blah, 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 blah. But these are the techniques that I pass along, intuitive techniques, so that anyone can draw a tree. Anyone can draw a flower accurately, etc., etc. Other things too. Beyond flowers and trees and nature, then there are the animals. And that's a fun part in Genesis art, to learn how to draw animals, to learn how to draw birds accurately, and four-legged creatures accurately, and fish. So this is a whole level using special techniques I created to make it fun and simple and very, very engaging, so that you want to keep drawing more of these. What comes next? People, drawing people. And that's where people often say, I can only draw a stick figure, I don't know how to draw. Again, I created these techniques that allow anyone to jump in and draw from emotion, from heart, without looking at the paper. And it's such an honest imprint. It's so accurate in describing how you're feeling toward your subject, that these images, whether it's the people, the birds, the animals, nature, the sky, they become aspects of your visual journal, a visual journal of what's going on in your life right now, how you're feeling about it. And with my writing background, we tell stories from that moment, what's actually happening. But we don't leave it at that. Genesis art is for the life. And what often happens is a picture that you created 10 or 20 years ago will speak to you now. Something will arise in your life right now that connects you to that picture in astonishing ways. We call it synchronicity, we call it divine providence, hashgacha pratis, whatever you want to call it. There's something that you recognize is beyond you, that you couldn't possibly have known. From your unconscious came something very, very powerful that reinforces how intuitive you are, how creative you are. And this is why people stay with me doing Genesis art for years and years and years, because the pictures become references. They become parts of the scenery of your life. And I don't want to say just the backdrop scenery of your life, but scenery that reminds you of these really incredible, beautiful moments that you want to preserve. Finally, there's integration. You've got all these aspects, nature, people, of separating sky from earth, and animals, of course, and you're putting them together into one picture, meaning your pictures are becoming more and more complex. Now, for people who've done art for many, many years, they don't have to go through all these steps, but these are the steps I lay out for beginners to approach art, really in a way very similar to the 7 days of creation. It's a fun process. It's a deep process. It leads to wonderful communication and trust in a community of people who are doing it together. It's very useful in therapy, in getting people to open up and see their lives in a wondrous, positive way, no matter what is happening, and to get out of reactive mode, to get back to the Creator. The Creator wasn't in reactive mode when He created the world, and either should we as we go about our lives. I think we've all forgotten that, and this is a time, especially now, especially those of us who are struggling with whatever's going on. Here we have the war. It's very intense. We're in a break from it, but I don't think it's over yet. And it's a way for us not to be triggered by the news, triggered by reading too much online, too many commentators, too many emails and messages. Are you okay? What are you up to? Da 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 da. By doing art, it's a way of pushing back against this being reactive and saying, I'm carving space for myself. I'm making time for myself. I'm going to explore something within me that's beautiful and calming and connecting me to the source. I hope that helps explain. It's been really fun.